right. What's good? What's good? What's good? Big Dogs on Campus Show. We on live. Sports Empire Network. What's good? What's good? Big Dog Cool in the house. What's good with you, brother?
Yes, sir. Oh, I'm good, man. Just hanging in there, brother.
I'm ready, man. I got my smelling salts. It's game day, man. Let me hit this. I hooked the kids up with the smelling salts last Friday night. You know, high school football. You got that coffee? All right, so
I got that special.
I got my spidey senses tingling. Straight out of, what's that, LSU? What's that say? I can't see it.
Sir.
Where you
I don't know.
What's that say? The U. Oh. Well, come on, man. You got to take a poll. Who did not like the U in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s? Take a poll. Take a poll, brother. All right, man. College football, man. Week 2 on the Big Dogs on Campus Show. We waiting on a few more big dogs to get up off the porch and come to the campus. And should we say it? Is it early enough in the morning to let your manhood swang in the back when you're walking? When you're coming off the porch and you're walking around, your mouth is saliving. Hey, man, I gotta admit, on Instagram, I like to watch the Roddies eat when they put the food on the plate. Have you seen those videos? Be cool. And
yeah, I've seen some of those.
the ASMR where you get to see the dogs. They eating better than humans. They eating rumen. They eating deer legs and rabbit ears and polar bear hearts and badger livers. And the poor Roddy is waiting for the owner to put the food down on the plate, and his mouth is just watering. He want to lick it like that episode of Martin when he was on that diet. And he was trying to lick the plate while Genie was making him his plate. That's what that reminds me of, man. We here, Pit Bulls, Roddies, Cane Corsos, Great Danes, all the big dogs, no poodles, no multi-poos. That's the only rule for the Big Dog on Campus Show. And Big Dog Cool's in the house. Hey, it's our first time doing the show together, bro. I'm honored, and it's a privilege to be on here with you, man. Much love and respect, brother. All right,
I appreciate it, man. I'm
Yes,
excited
sir.
about this as well.
All right, man. Let's get it in, man. All right, so Big Cam, Big Shane on the way. Game day matchups, man. Every Saturday moving on forward. Game day matchups, man. I'm just jump right out to you, man. Today, what's the game that you got to see today?
So today for me, the game that I have to see is number 9 Baylor and number 21 BYU. It's the late game.
Yeah.
But it's a top 25 matchup between two teams who could really both benefit from getting the W today.
Baylor, man.
So
I want to
think,
know what
for me, that's the one.
what uniforms they going to wear, because Baylor got some nice fits. Every Saturday, I'm trying to see who's going to be fresher, Oregon or Baylor. They ain't broke out the nice metallic golds in a while. Let me see.
Yeah, they do feel like they're in a competition for who's going to be the flyest.
I hope Baylor
on a regular basis.
I hope Baylor beats the brakes off of BYU. It's just something deep down inside me that don't like BYU. I played against BYU when I was in college, and you know how long that grass is? When the speed team comes to BYU to play, you know how long that grass is? You can't see your cleats. And it's an advantage. It's an advantage for the BYU Cougars to make sure the speed team is nullified. That we are no longer the speed team. We all slow. They 25 and 26-year-old freshmen. I can't stand BYU. I hope Baylor beats the brakes off BYU at 7:15 prime time, which means it'd be a 10-15 game for you East Coast cats.
Oh, yeah, but I want to see that one.
You going to stay up for that? You going to set your alarm and wake up back up for that one?
Oh, I'm going to stay up for that one.
Hey, man, that's a great segue on how late these games are and the East Coast, West Coast bias. So, with that being your game of the day, is there such thing? Is it a real thing? Or, and I'm kind of getting to the jump in the standings. Florida beating Oregon last week. Well, no, not Florida. I'm talking, who did Oregon play last week? Was it Georgia? Georgia smashed Oregon. And then Utah goes to Florida and loses. and Florida jumps to number 12. And my buddy said East Coast bias. And I'm like, I don't know if that's the case when the game is on in a regular, time slot. Is there such thing when we're talking about college football and these rankings, these preseason rankings? Is there an East Coast bias or SEC? Should I say East SEC bias when it comes to a team unranked at home, beats number 7 Utah in the swamp, and they jump to number 12? Is that the East Coast bias, West Coast bias? Is that biased in your opinion?
That is the SEC bias.
SEC bias. Thank you.
Yeah. The SEC has this happen all the time. I'll even give you the example of my own team, the Miami Hurricanes, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So right now, Miami is ranked.
Right.
They're, I believe, 15. Yeah. Today we play Southern Miss, whatever, right? We were a little bit higher, but anyway, we're still 15. We play Texas A&M next week. So the reason why we started the season where we were at is so that if we beat Texas A&M, we don't hurt them too much because they still have to play, all the other teams. And the fact of the matter is, we don't want, or let me say that the committee doesn't want SEC teams to suffer with things like, oh, you lost to an unranked team early in the season. Right. Then if we are beat, Texas A&M beat a top 15 team, so that can expound them and do what? Push them up. So it's all about the SEC. Everyone else is just fighting for the scraps, and the Big Ten is trying to find a way into that where they could be one of those teams that get the same thing. But honestly, what the Big Ten is picking up is not going to do what they want it to do.
Yeah, they're too top heavy. It's all Ohio State, sometimes Michigan. When I look at the slate, man, I'm looking for the 2 teams that have rankings next to them. As I look at my slate for games I want to see, and of course I go for the games that's ranked versus ranked. But like you said, some teams ain't trying to lose early in the season. Now, does that take away from the luster of being highly ranked in the preseason? Like back in the day when they had AP top 25, coaches top 25, AP national champ, coaches national champ, and then public opinion national champ. I think this week we'll get to see the SEC bias in its all its flavor, because Florida is now ranked, and now Florida plays top 20 UK, Kentucky, and you get to see week 2 if that was an unvalidated ranking jump, because I thought you go from none ranked to 25 through 20, like you got to kind of get in there a little bit just to number 12. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
I mean, Utah.
But I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, Utah on the road in the swamp ain't the same Utah at home on Thursday night or Friday night. It's just a little bit different. So the game I want to see, man, of course, Tennessee, Pitt, 2 ranked teams playing today at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Coast time, 3:30 East Coast time. I want to see, man, of course, the U. I'm a small-time U fan. On the back of my mind, I'm always looking at the U because I grew up doing this. I got my first.
I'm still doing this.
Oh man, I was doing the U when I was young. It was almost taboo because I had friends that went to Miami and they're like, bro, you can't be throwing up the U unless you plan on coming here or whatnot. It was almost worse. It's like throwing like the Q dogs up. Like, don't be throwing it up unless you really a Q. But I want to see Alabama against Texas, because Texas entering the SEC as the next year, or is it next 2 years?
It should be, I believe, 2024.
So not this coming season. They got 2 more
years.
They're
trying
to
get in next year. Yeah.
Well, we're going to see today if getting in early is going to benefit them. They got Bama by 20.5 points.
And Bama's going to still cover the spread. They're going to annihilate, eradicate, decimate Texas.
Hold on, big dog. You don't give Sarkisian and them a chance.
They can get 40 when Alabama gets 65.
Oh man, they got dudes. They got 4 and 5 star dudes too.
Yeah, they do.
That must just all be a skill, guys.
But I was gonna say, but when those guys have to take a break, do they have another 5-star that they can plug in?
Oh,
that's the difference.
That's the difference.
The
shiny guys up front, the shiny guys on the outside, and the 4 quarterbacks they got on million NIL deals. The quarterback room they got in Texas ain't nothing against Bryce Young and the weapons that he reloaded with. All right, so 20.5 points. He said they're going to cover. All right, so
I
man.
feel like they're going to cover.
My limit is $2. I bet $2 on everything. $2. The way I don't feel bad, the way the wife don't leave me. I got $2 that Texas covers the spread. That Texas wins. Texas gets within 20.
I'll take that $2.
$2 bet. Cash App, Venmo, and Zelle. For a smoothie? Come on, Texas. I need a smoothie. Them things get expensive out this way.
You know what I'm saying? $2 toward my smoothie.
I'm praying for a Johnny Manziel type play from the Texas QB, whoever starts. If it's yours.
They can't handle the Alabama defense. Straight up, they can't handle the Alabama defense. That's going to be the issue. They're going to look great most weeks, but like Alabama is a whole different animal. Alabama is like an NIL team before the NIL. If you can't tell me some of these guys were not getting paid back in the day to go to Alabama, right?
Hey man, you are opening up Pandora's box. Nick Saban said they bought the best team they could buy. I'm like, but Nick Saban,
that's what you always do.
You've been doing it for a minute. Hey, I turn a blind eye to the evil. I don't want to hear it. Him and Dabo Swinney. Speaking of Dabo, how do you feel about the coach making $10 million? Is he making $10.5 million? Does he play?
Hey man, you can't knock the hustle. If you're gonna pay me $10.5 million, am I gonna take it? Absolutely. If somebody came to me and said, "Hey, I'll give you $10.5 million," the coach, run it.
Hey, if they lose to Notre Dame last week, does he get that check? Does he get that check if they lose last week?
You get that check, but you also get a little note in the thing that keep doing this, and that buyout is going to happen, sir.
Bruh, the SEC don't play.
No, they don't play.
My God, the guy beat Notre Dame. The brother got a raise. Come on, man. You know who's going to get paid again. Like, it's time for Saban to get paid. It's going to be time for Kirby Smart to get paid. You're talking about some big dogs on campus. It's these dudes.
No, that's the big dogs, yeah.
That's a big dog. And you can't say nothing.
They stay on campus.
Hey, he can tell his players who to vote for with that kind of money. Hey, I want you voting. Hey, you know who we voting for. Dadgummit. Making America great again. Hey, I want to mess around. And we win the championship, we going to the White House. I make $10.5 million. Your butt be out of here. All right, man. Of course, I'm interested in seeing on the West Coast, man, USC play Stanford. I wish the old Stanford would show up. I wish David Shaw would go out and recruit some dudes and make the West Coast relevant again. I mean, shoot. SC scheduled a pansy last week in Rice, so we don't know who SC is. Stanford's been down for 4 or 5 years. They got SC by 8.5. That's actually pretty slim. I'm thinking it should be at least a 2-touchdown advantage. So I'm interested to see how that goes. Oh shoot!
Yep.
Barking. Them dogs is barking, man. I hear some dogs barking outside. It looks like
some dogs barking.
It's a dog barking outside. Let me see. It sounds like a bulldog. It sounds like. Let's see who it is. Let's see who's trying to get in here. Oh man, it's the Doberman Pinscher. It's the big dog Doberman. It's the Doberman. He looks real mean and snarly, but you can scratch him under the chin and he go, hoo, hoo, and then he'll bark. What's up, big dog Cal? What's going on with you, man?
Sorry, I'm late. A little.
No, bro, you get here when you get here, and then you on time. You know what I'm saying? That's how I roll. That's how I roll up. Hey, but you're just in time, brother. The LSU Tigers fan extraordinaire. I was gonna call you in the game last week. Like, what's going on? Y'all about to smoke this off, and you smoked it off. Did you fire that wing player on that extra point team? Like, is he fired? Big Dog Cam, your thoughts, man. Games on the slate today, as we talk about Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, and Dabo's paycheck. I don't want to count no other man's paycheck, but this stuff is front page news. But at the same time, we got games today, man. Who are you trying to see today? What games jump off the slate to you?
For me, it's got to be Alabama and Texas. Texas has played in the last couple of seasons. They played us. They played Arkansas last year. and got beat. And I mean, I guess it's time for them to play Alabama. I mean, Sarkisian gets to go against his former head coach. Texas is going to be coming to the SEC soon, and I think it's only right for them to play Alabama. I mean, if you're going to be coming into the SEC, and I mean, if you're going to possibly be in the SEC West, you need to get used to being absolutely manhandled Alabama every single year. And it's a given.
Absolutely. All right, man. I just bet Kane. I just bet big dog Cool $2 that Texas would cover 20.5. What say you, man? Is that a good bet, bad bet? Or are you going to take my $2 bet that Alabama beats these boys by 20.5 or more? 20 points.
See, that's hard because...
Where the game at? Wait a minute. First of all...
It comes down to, can Quentin Ewers handle that pressure? Can Quentin Ewers handle Will Anderson being in his back pocket, front pocket, coin pocket? Like every single aspect of that backfield, Will Anderson will be able to cover.
It's at Texas Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I knew. Yeah.
Ewers got a mullet. He ain't afraid of nothing. He got a mullet. He's wearing a mullet.
There's
for
one
a
simple
reason.
thing though. But there's one simple thing. You don't have to be afraid to get punched in the face.
Everybody thought Mike Tyson thought they was going to do something. Huh?
Y'all saw this year they didn't shoot a cannonball through a jersey. So they already know, hey, if we do this, it's already going to give the quarterback motivation to absolutely destroy us.
Oh, man. Over and under 64.5. It's just going to come down, can Texas score at all?
Yes,
Can the mullet score? I mean, Sarkisian, I don't care how comfortable you are with someone else's scheme. When you got dudes everywhere, NFL dudes everywhere, you got a game plan like it's an NFL game. You got a game plan like the Buffalo Bills game plan the Rams last
week. And then their backups are NFL dudes too.
Not fair, man. It ain't fair, man. So should we just crown them? Georgia, Bama, national championship again? Is that what we're saying?
Well, not necessarily. What I'm saying is Texas is not in the same league. Like, maybe a couple of years, maybe you get in the SEC, you start to get that bias, you start to get people wanting to matriculate to your university now because of where you're at for football, and you start to get a better overall group of people. I think that's why Texas is coming. You may can compete down the road, but right now, nah, you're not in the stratosphere. And they should be able to beat them by 21 easy.
Okay, all right, let me throw it back out there. Do you respect undefeated teams at the end more than a team has a one loss to a big dog earlier in the season? That's what we're going to end up with.
Okay, so for me, I prefer the team that has the one loss to the big dog early in the season, showing me that you out there scheduling people. Right. Because my thing is, if you're out here and I got a whole bunch of teams that they're pretty good, right? They're programs that you know because they've been great, but they're not good now.
Mid-American.
Yeah. Or teams from conferences that are good conferences, but they're not the better teams in the conference. Like Alabama scheduling Texas. We know Alabama's going to crush them. So for me, I'd rather have the team that has the one loss where they're actually playing people and they caught an L early in the season. Maybe they had a young team. We know it's college, so every year there's a lot of change, there's a lot of adapting. Yeah, a lot of people leave, a lot of people come in. I'd rather have that team, which is why I like the 12-team playoff that's coming, because some of those teams now will get in and they'll have the opportunity to show what they can do. Most people believe, it doesn't matter, the SEC is going to crush everybody, but let's let them play it out and see. We haven't been doing that.
How far in the future are these schedules made though? Because you figure the Alabama Texas game's been on the slate for a minute, right? Or that's something they picked up this year. Like, let's play Texas.
Probably 2,
3 years.
I mean, probably 1 or 2 years. And Texas, Texas hasn't been good in 2 or 3 years, so that's.
Because I want to it's not like the coaches sit down every year and say, all right, let's who we got this year. It's usually 1 or 2 open spots.
Yeah, it's planned out. It's planned out for a while because LSU, we play Southern today to HBCU out in Baton Rouge, really right down the road from LSU, and this has never happened. We've never played Southern ever.
What?
And so they're basically saying it's a battle for Baton Rouge.
I thought they played every year.
No, we've never played Southern. And
wow,
Crazy,
Coach O got this like 3 or 4 years ago. Like we played Southern this year, we played Grambling next year. Then for a few years now, we go to California, play USC. They come here, like we have our season openers for like the next 4 or 5 years already like up. And I don't know how long they go when they make the schedules, but AC, to answer your question, I would have to go with cool. I would rather cover a team, talk about a team that's actually playing talent and showing me what their true guys' potentials are, than you have people like Alabama who are stat patting against FCS schools or lower tier FBS schools. Like, I mean, if you have a low Pac-12 team or a low Big 12 team playing Alabama or Georgia, it's not as good to me because you already go into that game like, okay, we know exactly what's about to happen. But if you're having a tough schedule and you're showing me that you can actually beat these guys, then I would much rather that team than somebody who's just blowing everybody out and then just an easy road.
Yeah. Same thing is happening in high school football. As I'm coaching football. I'm looking at some of these teams scheduling these powder puffs, and then some teams go out and try to find the big dog and steal smash. And it's just like, well, what do you really respect? And it's who's beating big dogs. Yeah. And you took that challenge, but if it's already scheduled 10 years in advance, you really can't get mad. Now I'm looking at the LSU.
Yeah, I know high school's a little different.
It's a little different. You can call a coach up, say, let's get a game. And you call them up when you got a team. You don't call them up when you low. You don't call them up when you ain't got nobody in the cupboard. The cupboard is empty. And you call the big dogs, hey, you want to play against American Heritage in Florida against, we want to play Aquinas, St. Aquinas. No, you pick up when you know you can pick up. This spread, LSU versus Southern, is 45 points. All right, $2 bet.
Okay.
$2 bet, 45 points? Okay, how long is a football game these days? Let me see.
Can't be trying to get $2 back. He about to lose.
Yeah. I'm about to be down $8.
Is astounded because last week Southern University dropped 86 points on Florida Memorial. That sounds like a funeral home. We've never heard of this NAIA school, and I've been getting a lot of backlash on Facebook and stuff because I've said it was like completely irrational. If you've played football, you know there is an unspoken rule on running a score that high on a team you know is nowhere near your level.
Yeah, a D3 team, basically.
And I said that they were going to get humbled this weekend, and it automatically went into, how do you know they're not humble young men, this and that, and blah, blah, blah.
The character.
And then it started going down the wrong road, and I'm like, I'm a Southern fan. I had one of my great friends who plays for the Washington Commanders now, Danny Johnson. He played at Southern. Yeah. I have a buddy over there right now, I think he's 85, Chandler Whitfield. I grew up with him. My stepdad works there. Like, I have no problem with Southern. It all comes down to there's an unwritten rule. You don't drop 86. You don't see Nick Saban, and then when they play terrible schools, you don't see them doing that to them. It's just, I don't know.
It's hard to tell a third string kid don't score. So when I see a lopsided score, as long as you put the backups in the game, and you're running the football, not trying to throw it deep and not trying to do trick plays, you're running through the body right, ISO left, and you still score. I don't know what you're supposed to do. Like, it should happen that way. But when I see some schools, like I saw a high school team was it 2 years ago? Inglewood scored 100 points in the game. And backup quarterback at UCLA was the quarterback. And I think he had like, was it 11, 12 touchdowns or something? It was something really ridiculous. 15 touchdowns, something like that. But I'm like, why is he still in the game? After 5 touchdowns. Like, why is he still in the game? So that's where the unwritten rule for me jumps up. Like, hey, why are you still trying to score, man? Because the coach said something to me. The coach said something to me. He had that coming. I'm like, nah, bro, you might have destroyed the whole team's morale, character, everybody now has to go see a shrink.
Thing was keep that same energy. And the Mike the Tiger statue was vandalized. Shaq's statue was vandalized. And it was blue paint. Now, I ain't the smartest man in the world, but this is the first time this is happening. Southern fans a lot of people in Louisiana don't like LSU.
Was it light blue paint? It was the same color as UCLA blue, the Southern blue. Oh man, now we're really trying to start a rivalry that's not even a game.
I'm just saying, I just want them to keep the same energy when they come in. Because they've never played in an environment like that. They've never played in a stadium it's a sold out game on Saturday night in Baton Rouge.
They gonna win the battle.
At 45.
They gonna win halftime.
Deaf stadiums.
Yeah, something's
like
gonna win
in the
halftime.
nation.
They about to score 100 points, man. Well, it's not even the team's fault. It's the student section. The student section does the vandalizing.
Southern's going to probably win halftime is what I was saying, Cam.
So $2 bet to Stanford. Southern's band wins the halftime show. And
yes. I don't even want LSU band on the field. Don't even show up. Just take the night off. Go home.
Hey, $2 bet that LSU does not beat Southern by 45. $2 bet. I already got it cool, and I got a smoothie bet. I'm going to bet you a pack of now-laters. I'm going to bet you a pack of now-laters that Southern covers. Southern's covering. Bet. $2 bet. It's not 45 points. Shoot. Let's see. Big dog got disconnected. He's back.
Yeah,
right,
man.
They play.
I was saying, Cam, that Southern's going to win halftime.
Yeah, 1,000%. That's a no-brainer.
They better televise it, man. It's on the SEC network.
Also I wanted to say, man, I get excited when I went to HBCU. I went to A&T. So I get excited when I see the big schools schedule the HBCUs because it's very helpful for the programs. A lot of times, you're not probably going to win the game, but it brings a lot of money into the school when we're playing against these bigger schools. So I do get excited when I see schools actually take the time to go out and say, well, I'll play, an HBCU. Because what's the difference between playing an HBCU team and playing some cream puff Division II team that you're going to be? You might as well help a school that is actually going to benefit from getting that influx of cash from getting smashed.
Hey, UCLA's playing Alabama State today. I can't make the game because I got to go to my son's recruiting visit. But I wanted to go see that band in the Rose Bowl because I'm tired of seeing we're going to win. UCLA win. I'm like, all right, let's go get something to eat. Let's go get some hot dogs and nachos. I want to see somebody come out that bad boy saying, put my theme music on. Dome, dome, dome. Burp, burp. Dome, dome, dome. Hey, there I go. Now,
it's something about that drum major running out there and just making his head touch the ground, man. It's insane.
When I was young, I wanted to be the starting wide receiver, and I wanted to be, what's the dude in front that does the drum major? I wanted to go to Grambling. I wanted to go to Grambling and be both. I wanted to be a star receiver and then go get dressed at halftime and come out there high stepping. I was like, man, I could do that. I can run full speed to the 50 and do a 360 spin and do the splits. And then I tried it in the front yard and I just changed my whole life. I'm like, nah, I think I'm good on that. I'm thinking I'm gonna let those guys do that. I'm good.
Yeah, I was thinking that once he tried it, he was like, I'm gonna stick to the wide receiver.
Them dudes, yeah, I was yeah, it's not the same. It ain't the same at all. It's a whole different thing. All right, man. So who else we got this morning, man? We got we already talked about Baylor, BYU, talked about Texas, Alabama. Any other games jump out to you guys, man? Like I said, UCLA's playing Alabama State. We should win. Now, you saying the games are scheduled? It's called the Black Excellence Game out here today. I was like, I don't know whether to be happy or offended, but I guess it's gonna happen. They got these T-shirts drawn up. UCLA's playing at HBCU for the first time. Like Koo said, it's gonna help the program out. I'm looking at Chip Kelly, and he's scheduled a bunch of powder puffs. Man, we got Bowling Green, Alabama State, and Alabama A&M back to back to back. And I'm kind of like, man, we don't mess around and beat. If we're not 3-0, fire him in the parking lot. But that's just me. Helps the program out, but at the same time gives you another practice game before you go through a heavy slate of tough teams. So look how you want to look at it how you want to look at it. Sometimes I'm like, you might have went a little bit too far with the powder puff teams. We'll see how ready we are when we go to the Pac-12.
That's the kind of thing I expect from Chip Kelly.
Oh man, Chip Kelly, man.
I don't want to talk about it.
He destroyed my Eagles.
Yes, he did.
He destroyed.
He let go of some dogs for the Eagles, bro.
And what's crazy though, in his destroying them, he actually helped us get a Super Bowl too.
Oh yeah, I appreciate him for that.
Like, I don't like what you did, but
I appreciate
it worked. Not for you, but
it always hurts watching like Macklin and Shady go though.
Oh man,
Shady was that dude in Philadelphia.
We had D-Jack, Macklin, Shady, Boykin, all them dudes. We had a squad. We just needed somebody to come in there that's going to be a little disciplinarian a little bit and get them guys right. It's not Chip Kelly style. Chip Kelly came in at that college mess, man. Ran them guys off.
Yeah.
You can't tell no millionaires to run gasters.
So I got a question for y'all. So Appalachian State plays A&M this week. A&M really didn't impress me against Sam Houston.
His trap game.
Their quarterback Haynes King, he had some really iffy throws. It's just Sam Houston's not really a university that can capitalize on the turnovers and big plays. But the past few seasons, Appalachian State has shown like, hey, we can play with a lot of these teams out here.
Ask Michigan.
They can.
They should have beat North Carolina.
Right.
They should have.
For being honest.
So what are you saying, big dog? What are you saying?
I know the question is. I was waiting for someone to ask it.
Go for it.
So A&M's an 18.5 point favorite.
Where's the game at?
For the university that's about to be the transfer U, because everybody's about to leave 8-4 A&M.
Oh.
Do y'all think Appalachian State has a chance
in College Station? With the 12th man and the push-ups and the cannons going off. I don't think it's the same environment.
I mean they don't have cheerleaders distracting the team or nothing. I mean, I don't think anybody's looking over there.
They just scored 60 points last week in a hostile environment. But was it a home game last week for Appalachian? Or was it a North Carolina? Where was the game last week?
If I'm not mistaken, it was in North Carolina.
I'll double check real quick for you.
Let me make sure.
In 5 seconds.
They went in there and scored 60. 18.5 points. The A&M with a Nick Saban said, bought. Best team money can buy. Unranked Appalachian State going to College Station.
Really
Shoot. What if you had to bet real money? It's on ESPN2. What if you had to bet like real money on something like this? Like we're doing fictitious money. What if you had to bet a real rack? Appalachian to cover 18.5 A&M. I haven't seen A&M play. I just saw the highlights. and I saw what they did to North Carolina last week. Woo! I think I'll take that bet, man. I think Appalachian can get within 17 points.
Mike, I truly feel like it'll come down to if Haynes King can not turn the ball over. He makes a lot of poor decisions in the pocket, and up until halftime, Sam Houston was kind of keeping up,
right?
And you don't expect that.
What's the pass rush difference? North Carolina's pass rush versus, was it Sam Houston that played against A&M?
Yeah.
Pass rushes. Because you figure Bryce had 6 tubs, only 1 pick. Haynes King had 2 interceptions, only threw three touchdowns. So the pass rush, I'm wondering.
He tried forcing too many bad passes last game for sure.
Yeah. But I'd say you'd have to say North Carolina has a better defensive backfield.
Yeah.
You
think
you'd have to say that there should be a large discrepancy in those defensive backfields. So, I think they definitely can cover. I actually think they have a chance to be an upset. If I was going to pick an upset this week, this would be the one I pick.
The upset special?
Yeah.
This is it.
This will be my upset special.
Appalachian. Now,
Appalachian is a consistent team. They don't get a lot of respect when the rankings come out, but just watch them play. Right? I live in North Carolina, so see a lot of their games on the different networks here in North Carolina. That is a good team. They're going to be in a major conference in the next few years because they are a good team and they can beat quality teams.
They can.
They've done it for years. They should have done it last week.
But Jimbo Fisher has been preaching all week that we ain't going to be Michigan getting beat by Appalachian State on national TV.
Unfortunately, Jimbo don't play.
He get paid like he played.
We know his coaching is so. And we know his coaching is suspect, so I'm just saying.
Hey, is Jimbo Fisher going to be the Calipari of football? Like, you got to win with that roster. Or you can blame the scout services by giving these kids 5 stars and it's not, and those ain't legitimate 5-star kids.
Hey, Jimbo does what Jimbo does. Hey, that's all we can really say, right?
Jimbo
there's a reason they ran him out of Florida State.
Yeah.
Jimbo is Dan Mullins. He got that job because of what Jameis did to him, just like Dan Mullins got a job at Florida because of what Dak did.
Hey, then he should be breaking him off a percentage. He should be doing him like Eminem does 50 Cent. Every money you make, every dollar you make, I need a percentage of that. Doc Rivers, Mullins, all these.
Tennessee.
All right, man. Big Dog Cool said upset.
So to answer your question from earlier, Appalachian was at home last week.
They were. I think that makes a big difference. When you wearing all black and your student section is going nuts, and how much were they down by? They were down by 40. Were they down by
quite a bit?
They were down by quite a bit. And there's nothing that North Carolina could do to stop that onslaught.
Because my thing is, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, the crowd, the home, the black, you should have been down by that many, right? So I think it does. Like, I think it'll travel. I think the momentum will travel. I think that we should have won that game and we didn't. We got an L that we really shouldn't have. So let's go smack Texas A&M, punch them in the face, put a throat on their necks, and show everybody that we really should have won last week.
Hey, man.
Where Texas A&M, they're going to be looking forward to playing the U next week, right? So this is what you call the trap game as well.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a highly televised game. A lot of people are talking about Miami's always, what do you say every year about Miami? Oh, the U is back. I'm tired of hearing it. How about we win something before we get back? How about we say we're on the way? We don't have to be back. Hey. But I think that'll be a big game. So this is an opportunity. I'm not, I can't 100% say it'll happen, but if I'm looking at a game throughout their schedule, I feel like everything's in place for the team we expect to win to lose, it's got to be this. Appalachian State's a good team. They're coached well. They travel well. They win at home. They can win on the road. You know, if they stay in this game and don't put themselves in a position where they're down going into the fourth quarter, Jimbo Fisher might crack.
Jimbo on the clock. How do you keep your team from overlooking the team in front of you?
His seat's going to be getting a little hot soon if it's not already. It should be starting to heat up.
Steaming. I'm looking at Michigan's playing Hawaii. Where's that?
Steaming Willie Beeman.
Steaming Willie Beeman. All right, so they play in Hawaii and Michigan. It's no longer interesting to me. Whenever a team plays Hawaii in Hawaii, I'm like, that might be a trap game because you got to go to Hawaii and stay off the sandy beach.
That's definitely, yeah.
And stay off them scooters.
Yeah, party all weekend in Hawaii.
And stay off them corners. Yeah. Use your per diem and you out there doing stuff you're not supposed to be doing. But the game's in Michigan, so it's a 52-point spread. 52-point spread.
That's a big spread.
I mean, after what Vanderbilt did to him, I mean, I understand.
Yeah. Oh, my God. 52. We going in here, son, like, man, we played against Nebraska one time, and we were 3-0. Nebraska's 3-0. They had Tommy Frazier. And our pregame speech, man, Terry Donahue, rest in peace, man. All right, man. We're 3-0. They're 3-0. We got J.J. Stokes. They got Tommy Frazier. If we play a perfect game, we can beat them. I'm like, hold on. Nobody's played a perfect game. What is he saying? My homeboy said, we ain't got a chance in hell. And he was right. We might as well be 52-point underdogs, man. We went in Nebraska, got our head whooped, man. Funny story, my homeboy got to travel his first game. He on kickoff return. And the special teams coordinator said, hey, this week we're going to beat them with speed. I'm going to put 5 DBs in the front row. And we're going to run back and pick these guys up. And we're going to run it down their throat. And I said, their kickoff team is full of linebackers and strong safeties. Them cats was bleeding at the nose. And my boy goes down his first time ever and gets Peter roll, right? All you saw was the bottom of his feet in the air. He comes to the sideline. He says, Cobb, you got to go in for me, bro. I was like, what's wrong? I can't breathe. I was like, and you want me to go in for you? I'm like, man, you crazy. Nebraska. You need to play a perfect game. I said, that's not a good pregame speech, man. So what does Hawaii tell their team? You guys got to play a perfect game versus Michigan. All right, man. What is the biggest shock from week 1 as we approach week 2? What was the biggest shock? What is jumping out to you is that what we thought preseason, before the season began, this was what it was going to be. But I'm pretty shocked to find out either this team or this coach or whatever it was, the hype was too much. This moment was too big. What was the biggest shocker from week 1?
I mean, I got to say Florida winning.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's a good game. Cameron,
I thought was a huge shock.
Yeah, I mean, Florida been down for how long? Since Mullins, right? Was Florida any good? Who was it? Florida jumps up to number 12.
Florida's been so bad. Florida's been so bad that they will not even schedule Miami. Right? Like, and I'm not. You could go check. Florida will play Florida State, but they will not play Miami. Miami goes to them every couple of years. Like, let's do a home and home series. They will not do it. You can laugh, Cam, but it's the truth. They will not play Miami.
Some games should be automatic, like mandatory.
Yeah,
like,
especially like in state. LSU doesn't. Like Louisiana doesn't really have any other college that's like how Florida has UF, Florida State, Miami,
UCF.
We don't have colleges like that, so it's hard for us. But yeah, you should definitely, if you have like big games like Alabama and Auburn always play, Ole Miss and Mississippi State play, Texas and Texas A&M need to play. Like you should have games like that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I just laugh because I'm like, come on, man. You play Florida State, you play UCF, you know what I'm saying? You play all those other schools. Slide Miami, they're 1-1. Let's go. They don't want to do it.
Appreciate these cats online, man. We got Big Snowman, Queenie Lane, Gene, my man Kevin Norrell, Key Williams, my man
sir.
Mike Moody, Dre Montez. Hey, appreciate all y'all coming through in the Big Dog on campus
Yeah,
show.
he's right.
Yeah.
They did. It was 42. They scored the fourth.
Yeah, my Mike Moody, our fact checker, Big Mike Moody, and the DEM clothing line. Big Mike, appreciate you, man. With the Moody
That
mood swing.
UCF game, I didn't even know they were playing Louisville. That's right down the road from me.
Yeah.
And UCF, it isn't. They're not bad. I like that they have Gus, the coach from Auburn, and they got Plumlee, the quarterback from Ole Miss. LSU's championship year, he racked up, what was it, over 100, maybe a little, like way more rushing yards as a quarterback. So I like him at UCF, but I don't know. I guess mine would have to be the LSU Florida State game. I mean, we were down 14 points at one time. We had our starting D tackle. He went down with a torn ACL, which, I mean, that always sucks. And then we had a defensive end who now created a video of what targeting is.
Oh man, that was
use that forever.
It looked like bro never knew. Bro, it looked like bro didn't know their targeting was an actual thing. He looked like he didn't know.
It really did. I was like, that's
He
the
reminded
easiest
me
call
of
ever.
that was like a longest yard play. Like they hadn't learned like how to play yet. So like, I'm just gonna knock you out. No,
From the first
cool. You
practice.
know what it looked like? It looked like Drew McIntyre's headbutt that he did to Roman Reigns. But
And then he goes to his buddies like, "Yeah, I did that.
yeah.
The glass cow kiss. He hit him with a glass cow kiss.
Yeah.
I showed him.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
I showed him."
If you go 99 yards tied up with no time on, you have to go for the win. I would much rather lose going for the 2 than you already see that our O-line and our blockers are depleted. But
It's an extra point. It's an extra point, and you have momentum. That's a hard call.
So, what Cam is saying, in my words, is we should have had the grapefruits, right? The testicular fortitude to go for 2
because
in this
at
game. That's what
LSU,
he's saying.
Les Miles would have went for it. He was known for it. Coach O had a lot of, like, we went for 2 with a lot.
You better have a great
If
play
you
call.
go
Coach O definitely would've went for
99 yards, and you just showed that when our O-line is able to block and we're able to get the ball off in time, you already showed they cannot cover our receivers. They just showed that.
And that's the way. If you're losing and you take the L from going for 2 and missing it, it's kind of like, okay, we're just trying to win the
big
game.
nuts.
But when you get blocked for a field goal, it's like for extra point, you're like,
time. The second time that game.
Hey,
yeah.
so what's the play call, Cam? You going for 2? You got Jaden Daniels. You just
I'm going for
RPO.
2.
You going off tackle, run pass
because I would have to do RPO with either Noah Kane or Amari Goodwin. They're 2 big body running backs that we have, and Dre Jenkins had already shown that he was able to do a quick slant across the middle, and he had the Florida State DB like 3-4 steps behind me.
Yeah.
I mean, you do that, and I feel like we win that game. But I trust Brian Kelly, and what I respect about Brian Kelly is even though Malik Neighbors, number 8, our sophomore, he muffed 2 punts. On that last drive, Brian Kelly still went to him 2 plays in a row.
He did.
He showed, I still trust you. I still have faith in you. Let's go win the ball game. And my biggest takeaway, and I'll end it on this, my biggest takeaway is what we normally see in this type of situation, especially in a transfer, in a new environment, in a big game, is you see the quarterback get frustrated and lose himself. Jaden Daniels did not once break. He showed nothing but maturity. When Kayshon Boutte was getting mad, he went to him, he spoke to him. He did what a quarterback is supposed to do. He stayed up. The team did not quit. And I'll take that all day. If we can fix the holes in the team, but keep up the morale, keep up the intensity, and not give up, I'll take that all day. That's a coachable team, and I feel like that's what Brian Kelly can do.
You mentioned Boutte. Ain't he in the portal? Didn't he jump in the portal?
So it hurts my heart to say all this. The reason all these kids took down everything and got off social media is because LSU fans were sending threats. Pathetic fans who I hate to even be associated with. Brian Kelly went and talked to Kayshon, and he said that they wanted to get off social media. They're not leaving. Our recruits have came out and said, we're staying no matter what. I trust it. It's just, unfortunately, we have some pathetic fans.
Yeah.
And I'll be
Every
the
fan
one to
base
say
does.
it. That's sad. Like, I can't fathom words if you're going to be grown and send
Kids.
specific type of threats to kids.
Yeah, so he's not leaving. That was just a rumor because his social media got shut down.
The internet thugs are back.
Internet thugs.
Yeah.
Little scrawny, little 5'3", living in his mama's basement, threatening kids.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, go back.
So stupid, man.
Go back to the press conference. Come at me. I'm 40.
I know y'all had to have seen the video. It was Brian Kelly did a press conference and the media was late. And a woman had to make a comment. He was basically telling him, like, I guess we can start now since the media is here. And she said, win a game and I'll be on time.
Dang.
You shouldn't never be able to interview anybody again. Point blank period. You don't disrespect. It doesn't matter. If it happened to Nick Saban, she would have lost her license.
Oh, man.
If it would have happened to anybody else, it's just the simple fact you lose one game. Nick Saban lost to UAB. Nick Saban was 7-6 his first season at LSU. Coach O lost to Troy. We can talk about the teams Les Miles lost to.
Yeah.
You can't define a head coach, a team off one game.
Oh, man.
And that's what I feel like a lot of people are saying, oh, Brian Kelly's not fit, da-da-da. You can't be the winningest coach in a program and be terrible. LSU won a national championship with 3 coaches in the last 20 years, 3 coaches, and 2 were mediocre.
Yeah, when you have a loaded team, you ain't really got to do a whole lot of coaching. If you can get the kids in there and the quarterback. If you can get the quarterback.
I trust Brian Kelly. I'm always gonna be a Tiger forever. But I just I feel like it was a jitters, and I think we can only go up from here.
You can argue both sides though. When you have momentum like that, overtime's not bad. You had them against the ropes. You might as well just go ahead and regroup.
It's a close game.
Yeah, I mean,
right. I mean, you lost, but it was a close game. I mean, you lose some close games from time to time, right? I mean,
that was my big thing. As bad as we did,
still had a chance.
It was only a 1-point game.
You lost by 1. Yeah.
I'll take. I think it might be because Florida State is not supposed to be great. You know what I'm saying? Like Florida State has been suspect for about 5 years now. So you lose to them, and you figure last year LSU losing to UCLA early. You feel like, oh, here we go again. But I think the character of the team, you kind of got an idea they're gonna be good. I mean, Jaden Daniels is gonna be good, and all those receivers and the line played well.
He was the first quarterback since Joe Burrow to throw for over 200 yards and rush for 100.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine. I was mad when he wanted to come to UCLA, and we still had to deal with Dorian Thompson-Robinson as Chip Kelly's dude. I'm like, how do you turn down a better quarterback?
Yeah, because
someone's loyal. Like, you want to get better or not? I mean, I like DTR, but I think Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback. So that's just me. All right, man, we got a few minutes left, man. Let's see. Anything else we got on the slate, guys? Let's see. We said, I believe you threw something out there during the week, Cam. I can't remember what you said. You already got the upset special.
My biggest thing, my biggest thing was the Texas and Alabama.
Yeah, and that game,
I'm ready for that game.
That game is coming on. Texas versus Alabama
at 12 p.m. noon Eastern time.
21 points.
I'm about to get these $2 to go to my smoothie.
I got Texas covering the spread, right? I don't have them winning. I have them covering. I don't even know if I want to keep
I have Texas not covering the spread.
Oh, man. You got Bama winning by 21 more.
And losing.
As I watched the Bryce Young commercial, I think you might be right. I might be out of my $2 bill. Bryce Young
Alabama's defense has more touchdowns than the offense.
Are you relieved to see the kids in mainstream now? Like seeing Bryce Young in the Heisman house, that kind of just threw me off a little bit. I was like, there was a time you would never see that. You would never see a current active college player on a mainstream commercial like that. And
yeah, I thought it was funny when Tebow was like, "Oh, hey, they let you off campus."
Literally.
Yeah.
I was like, man.
I think it's cool. I think it helps them start getting that
recognition
transition slowly into coming into like stardom or that next tier of your career. Like Bryce Young, like we're talking about, he's in that Dr. Pepper Fansville commercial,
and in Nissan.
I feel like this helps. That like it helps them get a sense of, I guess, formality of that stardom, that what they're entering to.
Yeah,
and it helps them separate themselves as a player versus just a member of the team, right? Because when you can kind of separate yourself and put yourself in that different bubble of like, yeah, I'm a member of the team, but I'm Bryce Young. You know, I'm a high winner. I'm this, I'm that. I've done commercials. People know me. You start to get that national exposure. So that helps you, continuing through the rest of college, being able to get more NIL deals, people knowing you. If you make it to the NFL and you're successful, then you're already a name. So that's something that they're being set up for that they could not do previously because they had to go behind closed doors and go all the way around to get their money. They were still getting it, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
They just had to go behind and try not to leave the trail.
But you know who benefits the most?
Fred Taylor talked about it.
Oh, yeah. Fred Taylor's bag is hilarious. But you know who benefits the most from Bryce Young being on Nissan commercials and Dr. Pepper commercials? Nick Saban, Mr. Anti-pay the players, Mr. $8 million a year. Every 5-star player in America watches these games and sees Bryce Young. And that's the new pitch. You want to be visible? You want to be seen? You want NIL deals?
You want to get it.
Come on to Palouse. Come on down.
So I got a question for y'all, like on the NIL stuff. What's the point of paying the kids if you're not going to teach them how to handle it properly? If you're gonna give these guys all this money, I think it should be mandatory. They should take a financial class to have a better understanding of how to use their money, invest their money, and set up for the rest of their life.
I agree. I think there are already symposiums in place. At our rookie symposium for the NFL, they have financial literacy and social awareness and, how to protect yourself from the hanger-oners. We had that back in the 90s, but it wasn't about finance. It's about, personal matters. I believe that is in place. They are teaching the kids about the NIL and how to work with it. Are the kids going to listen? Same as the NFL kids. Guys, I mean, why are NFL guys in the news every weekend with DUIs? Because they ain't listening to the warnings, and because they think like we had guys. We had Fred Rury, and I was with the Saints. Fred Rury was drafted by the Saints, and I think he was a 4th round pick, and they gave him I think $250,000 signing bonus. And 4th round picks don't play that long. Like if they make it, it's because they were gifted. But Fred Rury was, 5'9", 5'10", had a really good season, but undersized corner, and good dude, wants to burn up the world with his little, $250,000. And we're like, bro, slow down. You got to make the team, and you got to save your money and invest. Not this cat. He wanted to act like he was a 1st round pick. And all the stuff we learned in our symposium, he was like, that don't apply to me. And I'm like, man, you're on the cusp of getting cut. You better, chill out. So I just know that in one ear, out the other is a true like thing, because you can educate all you want, and people still believe that's not them, not me. I can. Like every criminal in the history of crime thinks they're not going to get caught. They might have caught Al Capone. They might have caught them, but they ain't going to get your boy. Ha, ha, ha. We can educate all we want. It's going to be up to those families, that player, that staff to really be in that kid's ear, to really get them to understand you are walking into young money. But you ain't never had it before.
You also gotta think. It's unfortunate, but you're gonna have some families that are gonna be like, they're too young to have this money. Let me hold on to it. Let me do this, do that, and they're gonna be taking the money, and it's a sad truth.
They're gonna do them like Gary Coleman. Where's my money?
Yeah. I would say one of the things that, if they do have the symposiums in place, which I hope they do, that they would be talking to them about is that, if you're not going to use the money immediately, that's cool. How about you take the money, you put it in an account, you invest it. That's what you need to do. You need to make sure that you're controlling your money. And that's what they need to be making sure that they're teaching these kids. And I wanted to also touch on Michael's comment about all those teams that have the quarterbacks from Cali.
Yeah.
Cali, you got to find a way to start keeping some of that talent in California. There's some really good teams in California. And maybe if you're getting quarterbacks that those other teams are getting, then you would be better.
You said find a way.
That's always a challenge, though, of course.
What's find a way mean, big dog? What does find a way mean? Find a way to keep those. What's find a way mean in today's plan state?
We've got something in place. We've got something in place right now where you can get kids that you want. It's called the NIL. A lot of these famous alumni have companies. Get these kids some advertisement deals. Hey, let's be real. That's what's happening in other places. Get these kids some deals and say, hey, you come here. You got this deal on the table. You want to get this bread, you stay home, you're near your family, you're near your friends.
Colleges have been doing it for years. Now you can just do it on the table.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Now
so why not?
Like, oh, we didn't do that. We don't. Let's step back. Nah, you've been doing it this whole time. Just bring it from underneath the table, set it down, and be like, "This is what we're gonna give you."
It's hilarious.
Say it.
Just slap it on the table. Let's go.
This is what we're gonna give you.
It's hilarious to me that
Ryan Day came out and was like, "This is the exact amount we have to have for our guys to stay." He's not dumb. He knows.
What's funny is that we're still gonna call it something it's not. Let's call it name, image, and likeness. We can't just outright pay them, but we got to find a way to make it look like we have an endorsement. Man, just bring the $1 million bag on the table and say there's more to come. When every year you stay, just call it what it is. We want to sign you to a $10 million deal for the next 4 years. Call it an NIL. We have Chrysler as a supporter of our
They'll do a commercial for Cougar Nissan.
Hi, I'm Dakotas Crawford, and this air conditioned Dakotas. Now that's
that was the word, dog. They would have had to pay me everything.
I Dakotas, and this air is cold. Back to you guys.
At least he got a trip overseas, man.
Oh man, I was like, come on, Dakotas. Hey man, I gotta get up out of here, man. Hey, Big Dogs on Campus show on the Sports Empire Network. The big dogs in the building. Big Dog Cool, Big Dog Cam. We missing Big Dog Shane. Big Dog Shane is hibernating. What What big dogs hibernate?
He had to go to Mississippi for they do slow pitch football and stuff like that, and so they've been in some big time tournaments, and they had to travel. They had to travel over.
We'll give him a big dog pass
today.
We'll give him a big dog pass. Big Mike Mooney said both former SC quarterbacks, one who took others' jobs playing against each other in the pit. Yeah, that was interesting.
Yep.
Very interesting.
That was such a good game. Such a good game.
I'm going to get in this portal. Hey, man, it's time for you to hop up out of here, man. Big Dogs on Campus show every Saturday morning, man. 9 a.m. East Coast time, 8 a.m. Central time, and 6 a.m. West Coast time, man. I'm Big Dog Cobby, Big Dog Cam, Big Dog Cool, and Big Dog Shane when he can. When he comes back from the Mississippi, he'll be joining us next week. Hey, man. Anything y'all want to say before we get out of here, man?
It's game day.
Game day.
I'm ready for it.
Smelling salt.
Just find me everywhere.
Woo!
Just look for me.
Woo! Let's go, baby. Let's kick off,
if you want to start, you can always start here.
Let's go. I'm ready, baby. Let's go. UCLA versus Alabama. Let's do it. Let's go. Big dogs. We here. We gonna be on here every week. Saturday morning. Let's go. Where we at? Who we are? 1, 2, 3 team. All right, man. Till next time, man. We out of this bad boy. Peace out.
Yes, sir.